Good evening, everyone. Give me a confirmation if you guys can hear me. Good evening, everyone. Give me a confirmation if you guys can hear me. Yes or no? Can you guys hear me? Awesome. So, good evening, everyone. I hope you are having an exciting weekend going on, right? So, welcome to day 4 of this bootcamp, Python and machine learning, right? So, yesterday we have talked about how a data structure works, what are the different types of data structure that we have in Python, and then some more concept or such like conditional statement we have studied, right? If I ask you, can you guys name 4 data structure that Python has? Can you guys name some 4 data structures that Python has? Anyone? What are the 4 data structure that Python has? Okay, someone is saying string, integer, boolean. Are these the data structure? String, boolean, and all these are the data type, not the data structure. Yes or no? Right? Exactly. So they are list, tuple, dictionary, and set. Right? Awesome. And yesterday we have also seen about the conditional statement. Whenever we face a situation where we have a condition and when we have to make a decision based on a condition, then we use a conditional statement. Okay. Just give me a confirmation if you guys can hear me and if I am audible to all of you. So then we can carry out with today's agenda. Is it clear? Am I audible to you, everyone? Those who are facing some screen resolution issue, kindly change your screen resolution to 720 pixel. Okay, perfect. So today's agenda is loops. Okay, today we are going to talk about loops. So let's understand what exactly this loops is all about, right? Let's take an example. Let's say we have a field. Okay, we have a field, we have an athlete. Okay, I'm having an athlete over here, so this is the starting point. And since this is a round field, so the starting point and the ending point is same, right? That means the athlete will going to start from here, all over from here. It will going to, as soon as it will go, he will going to touch this line. We are going to say that they have completed one round or one lap. Getting this? Okay. Now see over here. In a loop, the starting value and the ending value is remain be the same. In a loop, the starting value and the ending values remain be the same. Okay. Now if athlete starts from here, this point tends to be the starting value as well and the ending value. And in whenever the athlete starts, okay, whenever the athlete starts running on and on and on, and as soon as they will going to end, the thing that is constant over here will be your starting point. The thing that is constant over here will be your starting point, because the starting point and the ending point is remain be the same. That's the concept of loop. Loop is something that goes on and on or has a repetitive nature. Okay, if something goes on and on and on and never stops, that is a loop, right? For an example, let's say year. Okay, let's say 2022. Okay, now the calendar of 2022 starts from 1st of Jan, right, and ends at 31st of December. Yes or no? Yes or no? Are you guys getting this? If you're going to start with 1st of Jan, 2nd of Jan, 3rd of Jan, so on and so forth, as soon as it reaches to 31st of December, right? Now, if we talk about the calendar for next year, will it be different or will it be same? Will it be different or will it be same? It will be same, right? For the 2023 as well, we are going to start from 1st of Jan only and we are going to end to 31st of December. So now it's just a loop. It's a loop, right? Every day the same thing is happening, right? You and I are stuck in a loop where every day you wake up, the sun rises, and at evening sunset. We have day, we have night, and again the next day, again the same thing happens. And this thing is happening for so long, and it will be going to happen afterward as well. So something that goes on and on and on and repeats itself is known as loops. Is it clear? Is this clear to everyone? Please give me a confirmation. Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Come on. Awesome. Right? Now in Python, we have two kind of loops. We have two kind of loops. One is your for loop, another is your while loop. Okay. In different programming languages such as Java, we have one more loop called as do while loop. Okay, we have the concept of do while loop, but in Python we don't have any concept of do while. In Python we don't have any concept of do while. We have two loops. One is your for loop and another is your while loop. Okay, now this for is a genuine loop or a proper loop. Okay, let's understand in this way. Let's suppose you have a village. You have a village on the left hand side. You have a village on the right hand side. Okay, you have a village on the left hand side, you have a village on the right hand side, and this vacant space, you can say this is a, like if you come over here, you will going to fall off, right? So in order to go from this village to this village or vice versa, we have created a bridge. Okay, let me summarize. We have one village, we have another village, and in order to go from one village to another village, we have a bridge. Till here, is it clear? Till here, is it clear? Yes or no? Till here, is it clear? Yes or no? Till here, is this clear? Yes or no? Come on. Awesome. Now, the name of the first village is known as conditional statement. Name of the first village is conditional statement, and the people who lives here are if, elif, and else. Okay. Now the name of the second village is loop. Okay, name of the second village is loop, and who stays over here? For stays over here. Okay, now what happened to while loop? While loop is the bridge. While loop is the bridge between the conditional statement and loop. That means this is your conditional statement entirely, and this is your loop. So for loop is the purest loop. For loop is the purest loop. But when we say we have a bridge, that means this while loop has the capability of conditional statement as well, or you can say has the power of conditional statement as well, and it also has the power of loop as well. So while loop behaves with the respect to these two concepts itself. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Okay, let me explain you loop with a real life example. Okay, now let's see who all knows about this one. Tell me, from which movie does this scene is taken from? Let's see who can guess that. From which movie this scene has been taken from? Anyone? Anyone? Let's see who will gonna guess this one. Marvel, Doctor Strange, exactly. This scene has been taken from Doctor Strange, and let me summarize what is happening over here. If the people people have seen Doctor Strange, then what is happening over here is, while, so over here we have a character Doctor Strange, right? Now Doctor Strange has to go to the villain, that is Dormammu, to bargain. But before going on, what does Doctor Strange has done? He has captured Dormammu in a time loop. He has captured Dormammu in a time loop, and then what is happening? Every time when the Dormammu is killing Doctor Strange, again Doctor Strange comes up with the same dialogue, that is, Dormammu, I have came to bargain. So what is happening? The same event is occurring over and over again. The same event is been occurring over and over again, right? Are you guys getting this? So that's an example of a loop as well. In that case, it was a time loop, and with the help of this example we can easily understand what loop is. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Is this clear? Also in Loki, yeah. Also in Loki, when Loki was with Lady Sif, right? Exactly. Is this clear? Awesome. So now coming back to the point, we are now clear with loops. We are now clear with that we have two kind of loop. One is your for loop and one is your while loop. Now the question arises is that, okay, I know the loop concept, I know how many type of loops are there, but when to use which loop, in what situation I have to use this loop. Let's suppose I want to use a loop, then should I go with for loop or while loop? What is the difference between these two loops? So let's understand what's the difference between these two. Now let's talk about for loop. Are you guys ready for this one? Are you guys ready for this one? Yes or no? Are you guys ready for this one? Awesome. So now what this for loop says that I'm going to go on and on and on, and I'm going to stop. Now the stopping point will going to decide whether you have to go with a for loop or a while loop. Okay. Now for loop says that in order to stop me, you have to give me certain number. In order to stop me, you have to give me the stopping point or ending point, or tell me that how many times I have to run. Okay, so that means in for loop you have to tell or specify how many times, the loop will gonna run. Let's understand with this an example. Let's suppose we have an athlete over here. Okay, now we are telling this athlete that, hey, you need to do 10 rounds. You need to do 10 rounds of this entire ground. Over here, we are giving a deadline, or you can say we are giving a ending point to the athlete that you can only stop after, as soon as you have ran 10 rounds of this entire field. Doesn't matter if you get fainted, if you are tired, but you will only going to stop as soon as you're done with this 10 rounds. So over here we are giving a point, we are giving an ending point when the loop has to stop. So if you want a loop to run for 10 times, 14 times, 16 times, 18 times, then you have to go with the for loop. Okay, when you have a deadline for a loop to run. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Awesome. Now let's understand that when do we use a while loop? So while loop says that in my case, I don't need any dead end. I don't need any end point that I have to run for 10 times, 40 times, 16 times. I am going to run infinitely. I am going to run infinitely unless and until a condition becomes true. Now see this. We are talking about the concept of loop as well. We are talking about the concept of conditional statement as well, right? So while loop says that I am going to run infinitely, infinite. Okay, it will going to run infinitely, and I'm only going to stop when the condition becomes true. When the condition becomes false. Okay, when the condition becomes false, I'm going to stop. Otherwise, I'm going to go on and on and on and on and on. Right? For an example, let's say we have an athlete over here. Now we are telling the athlete. Now see the scenario. In the first case, we are telling athlete to run 10 rounds, to do 10 rounds or 10 laps of this ground. In the second scenario, we are telling the athlete that do the round. Okay, go on and on and on, do as many lap as you want, unless and until you are tired. Now see, unless and until you are tired, just do the round. So over here it might happen that the athlete get tired in a fifth round, so they can stop at fifth. It might happen that athlete may get tired at 100th round, then it will going to stop, right? So over here we are not specifying the stopping value, we are specifying a condition, right? You will only going to stop if this condition becomes false. If the condition is true, then you have to go on and on and on. As soon as the condition becomes false, you have to stop. Is this clear? Is this clear? Summarizing it, in for loop you always have a end point where how many times the loop is going to run. In a while loop you will only going to stop when a condition, when it satisfies a condition. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Awesome. Now a quiz time. Now if I ask you, what do you think, what kind of loop does Doctor Strange has used? Was it a for loop or a while loop? Now let's see who will going to answer this one. What kind of loop is it in this scenario? Is it a for loop or a while loop? Is it a for loop or a while loop? It's a while loop, guys. It's a while loop. The reason being is that this event was occurring over and over again, and the condition was said that unless and until Dormammu agrees to bargain, I am going to appear over and over again. So as soon as Dormammu says that, hey, stop, I am going to bargain you, the loop ends. The loop has ended. So it was a while loop. Good, guys. Okay, awesome. So now let's see the practical implementation of for loop and while loop. And before that, I hope you guys are clear with the concept of loop. You guys are clear with the concept of for loop and while loop. Is it? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is it clear? Everyone, is this clear? Okay, awesome. So now we are going to see how to do the looping part practically. Okay, so first we are going to start with for loop. Okay, now in the conditional statement, whenever you start with a conditional statement, you have some keyword such as if, else, and elif. Okay, so as soon as you start with the state condition like if something, so what happens is that this if keyword tells the interpreter that from now onwards a conditional statement is going to start. From now onwards a conditional statement is going to start, right? Similarly, if you want to tell the interpreter that I am going to use a for loop, you have to use the keyword for. Okay, you have to use the keyword for to tell the interpreter that you are going to use a for loop. Okay, so let me define over here for I, let's say, do we have a list with us? No, let's create a list before going on with for loop, or we are going to go with the range. Okay, range 10, print hello world. Now let's understand what exactly this piece of code means, right? I hope this is clear why we are using for, to tell the interpreter that we are going to start with the for loop, and from here for loop will going to start, right? Now this is a range function. This is a range function. Now what exactly is a range function? When I say a range, let's suppose I say I want to purchase a mobile phone, right? And my range is from 10k to 30k. What exactly does this mean? If I say my range is from 10k to 30k, that means any number of phones that falls under this range, that means it could be 11,000, 12,000, 13,000, so on and so forth, right? I can easily purchase. So that's what a range is. So in a range you have two values. One is your starting value and another is your ending value. One is your starting value and another is your ending value in a range, that I can go between 10k to 30k. Similarly over here, when we use a range, you have to provide a starting value, start value, and the end value. So in our case the ending value will be 10, and the starting value will be 0. Now by default, if you don't provide the starting value, if I remove this, so automatically this range will going to set the initial value as 0. Okay, so it's totally up to you if you want to provide or not. If you are providing, then it's fine. If you're not providing, then the starting value will be treated as 0 in the range function. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, cool. Now, if I say range 10, that means starting value is 0, ending value is 10. So, what all values will be considered between range 0 and 10? If my range is 0 and 10, so that means 0 will be considered, 1 will be there, 2 will be there, 3 be there, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 will be there. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? Now 10 won't be there. Now see, 10 won't be there because whenever you are using a range function, okay, whenever you are using a range function, the initial value or the starting value is inclusive. That means you are going to include this starting value. However, the ending value is exclusive. Let me write this over here. Exclusive, and this will be your inclusive. That means if I say range from 0 to 10, that means we are going to include the initial value, that is a 0, then all the values that falls between 0 and 10 till here, right? But we are not going to include 10 because 10 is our ending value. The ending value is always exclusive, so we are going to remove 10. So these are the values that falls between the range of 0 to 10. Is this clear, everyone? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Okay, right? Right? Okay. Now, when we say for I, over here, this I is a variable. It could be anything. It could be anything. You can say where, or you can go with anything. So I is a variable, and we are saying this. These are the range. When we say for I in range 10, it means that for I in range, the first value, it will going to take the first value in this range, and we're going to assign the value to I. So what will going to happen for the first iteration or the first occurrence, the value of I will be set to 0 because over here we have these many values between the range 0 to 10, right? Now, when the first occurrence has been done, it will going to go to the statement part and will going to print hello world. Now it will going to come back again to check whether any element in the range is being misused or not. Then it will going to say, okay, 0 is been used. Now it's a time for 1. So for the now the next value of I will be set to as 1, and again the statement will going to run, and so on and so forth. So as soon as it runs to 9, as soon as it turns to 9, it will going to print all the values and we'll be getting the all the 10 values, right? So over here, let me print hello world comma the value of I. So if I run this, now see, it says hello world, value of I is 0 in the first iteration, value of I is 1 in the second iteration, and value of I is 9 in the 10th iteration. Is this clear? Is this clear? Right? So over here, when I say 10, that means I'm defining an ending value. I'm telling the for loop that after 10th iteration you have to stop, right? So does the loop goes like this. So after the 10th iteration, the loop has stopped. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Kindly give me a confirmation, please. Is this clear? Yes or no? Okay. Perfect. So now we are going to talk about the while loop. So we have already understood that for while loop, we have to have a condition, right? So we are going to say first you have to define a condition. So let's say we are having a variable count and we set this variable to 0, right? We are assigning a variable count and we are assigning the value of 0 to the variable count. Now I have to go with the while loop, right? So I have to tell the interpreter that I'm going to use a while loop. So I'm going to say while, right? I'm going to use the keyword while. Then you have to provide the condition, and followed with the condition you have to provide the statement. Then you have to provide the statement. So condition, so let's say the condition over here is count is less than 10. So now tell me, is this condition true or false? If your screen is blurred, so just adjust your resolution, please. Right now, is this condition true or false? Come on. Is the value of count is less than 10? It's true, right? It's true. That means this, if this condition is true, then only this statement will going to execute. If this condition is true, then only this statement will going to execute, otherwise it will not going to execute, right? So if I say print hello world, so what do you think will gonna happen? What do you think will gonna happen if I'm going to run this piece of code? What do you think will gonna happen if we run this piece of code? Anyone? Infinite loop, exactly. It will be infinite, right? So what will going to happen for the first occurrence? We are interpreter will going to come up and it will going to check the statement. So check the condition. Is this condition true or false? It's true. That means it will going to print this statement. Again the condition, again the interpreter will going to come up and check the condition. It says again it's true. So now again it will going to print the statement, and so on and so forth. It will going to go on and on and on and print. So this is an example of an infinite loop. This is an example of an infinite loop. So if I'm going to run this now, see, it is going on and on and on, and still my interpreter is running. You can see this. Yes or no? Still my interpreter is running and the value of hello world is going on and on. And these are infinite. It will going to go on and on and on until and unless my CPU get crashed. See this? Are you guys getting this? Are you guys getting this? Yes or no? Right? So let's stop this. So let me stop this because it will going to go on and on and on, and you will going to utilize the entire CPU. So now let's take the same example. Let's take the same example, and let's say if count value, if this statement is true, then you have to print. If this condition is true, then you have to print this statement. And let me write over here as count is equals to count plus 1. So what I'm doing is that with the help of every iteration, I am adding 1. I am incrementing the value of count by 1. I am incrementing the value of count 1 and assigning it to the original count value. So what will going to happen for the first iteration, the value of count will be 0, right? So interpreter will going to start from here. It will say, okay, the count value is 0. Perfect. Now the interpreter will going to go to the next line. It will going to say that, okay, is this condition true? And then they will going to match whether 0 is less than 10. It says yes, it is. Then it will going to print hello world. Okay, so hello world will be printed. Now interpreter will going to come up and it will going to say that, okay, now over here you're assigning a new value. So the new value of count will be the current value of count plus 1. So earlier the value of count was 0, but now the value of count will be 0 plus 1, 1. So now for the next iteration, the value of count will going to become 1. So again they will going to check, and this will going to go on and on and on unless and until the value of count becomes 9. As soon as the value becomes 9, so what will going to happen? Interpreter will going to come up and we're going to check whether 9 is less than 10. Yes, it is. It will going to print hello world, and as soon as this operation will going to follow, right, as soon as this operation will going to follow up, the value of count will going to become 10. Yes or no? And we know that no number can be greater than or lesser than itself. No number can be greater than or lesser than itself, right? I cannot say 10 is greater than 10 or 10 is lesser than 10. So what will going to happen? Now when the interpreter will going to check the condition, is 10 is lesser than 10 or 10 is greater than 10, the condition becomes false and our loop will going to end. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Come on. Okay. Now, if I ask you, how many times do you think this loop will going to run? How many times do you think this loop will going to run? Come on. How many times do you think this loop will going to run? 1, 2, 3, or 100 times, 63 times? How many times? 10 times. Okay, some people are saying 10 times, 10 times, 1 time. Okay, let's see. See, this is how you increment a value. This is a very basic syntax. If you want to do the advanced syntax, so advanced syntax says count plus equals to 1. This and this is absolutely same. This syntax and this syntax is absolutely same. This is the basic syntax, how we write count is equal to count plus 1, and this is the very advanced syntax. When we do programming, when we create software, we use this kind of syntax. Okay, we don't have anything like this, count plus plus. In C++ or in different language, you can find out to increment the value, you can go ahead with this one, right? But we don't have such concept in Python. We can either go with this syntax to increment, or we can go with this syntax to increment. Okay, so let's go with the advanced syntax and let's run this. Now see, the iteration has been done 10 times. Iteration has been done 10 times. And now if you check the value of count, now see, the value of count has become 10. Earlier, we have set this to 0, but now it has become 10. And if we check, is 10 is lesser than 10, it says that it is false. And as soon as the condition becomes false, our while loop will going to end. So that's the wrap of while loop. So for loop will going to end when you specify a specific endpoint. While loop will going to end when a condition becomes false. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Okay, someone is saying that what will going to happen if we do count plus equals to 5. So instead of 1, we do 5. So how many times do you think this loop will going to run? Come on. How many times do you think this loop will going to run? Let's see. How many times do you think this loop will going to run if I change the counter to 5? 2 times? 1 times? Okay, it will going to run 2 times. The first time it will going to run with the value of count as 0. And the second time it will going to run with the value of count as 5. But on the third time, the value of count becomes 10. And 10 is less than 10. Is this true or false? Obviously it's false, right? So this loop will going to run 2 times. You can see 2 times. And now, even though now if you check the value of count, it will be 10. See. So is it clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Come on. Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Awesome. So this is the wrap of Python. So there are different concepts. There are a lot of more concepts. You can do a lot with the for and while, but due to the time constraint, we have to shrink it. And that's all about the for loop and while loop. The next thing we are going to discuss is your machine learning. Now we are going to talk about machine learning. Okay. Now we are going to talk about the machine learning. So now if I ask you, what do you guys understand about the term machine learning? What do you think about the term machine learning? What is machine learning? Learning of a machine? Is it? What do you guys think is machine learning? Come on. What is it? Machine learning. Train machine, okay. AI, it is not an AI. Machine learning and AI is absolutely different. Okay. Machine learning, training machine, statistical analysis, okay. Jarvis is an AI, not a machine learning. Okay. Talking about structures and formation, rectifying mistakes and learning data. Exactly. That's good. To teach machine like a child. Exactly. Right. See, the motive between the field of machine learning and AI is to create a human-like replica. Okay. Let's suppose we have human. Right. We have a human. The motive of AI, machine learning, and deep learning is to create a human-like replica. Do you guys understand about the term replica? Or you can say an artificial human. That's why we say artificial intelligence, right? One is your natural intelligence and another is your artificial intelligence. For an example, we say moon is our natural satellite. You must have heard about this statement. Moon is our natural satellite. Yes or no? Yes or no? You must have heard about this statement. Moon is our natural satellite. And when we say artificial satellite, what does it mean? It's a human made. It's a human made satellite that behaves like a natural satellite, or that replicates the behavior of the natural satellite. But it is something that has been made, not been created. Okay. So similarly, the motive of AI and machine learning is to understand the human behavior and how the human behavior works, and to implement it to create a robo. Okay, or you can say an advanced human or an artificial human, or we have given coined a name as robo. Okay. Now you need to understand that machine learning, deep learning, and artificial intelligence are way different. Are way different. Okay. So you need to understand. Let me show you. So let's say this is your artificial intelligence. This entirely is your AI. Okay. Inside AI, we have a domain called as machine learning. Inside AI, we have a domain called as machine learning. And inside machine learning, we have a domain called as DL. That is your deep learning. Right? So you can say machine learning is a sub part of artificial intelligence. Machine learning is a sub part of artificial intelligence. Deep learning is a sub part of machine learning, but you cannot say that machine learning and AI is same. Machine learning or DL is same. Are you guys getting this? Are you guys getting this? Yes or no? Right? Right? And what exactly is data science? Then what exactly is data science? Data science is this. This is data science. This is data science. Some part of AI, some part of ML, some part of DL. Some part of AI, some part of ML, and some part of DL. This is data science. And data science is a vast field. For data science, you have to have a knowledge of software engineering, you have to have a knowledge of mathematics, you have to have a knowledge of coding, you have to have a business analytics knowledge, business intelligence knowledge, and so on and so forth. Okay. Okay. So you can say ML is a subpart of AI, DL is a subpart of ML. So in this bootcamp, we are entirely focusing on machine learning. We will be focusing on the ML part, that is your machine learning. Is this clear? Is this clear till here? Is it clear, everyone? Yes or no? Come on. Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Are you guys getting this or not? Yes or no? Perfect. Now, what exactly is the idea behind machine learning? What exactly is the idea behind machine learning? So, it is simply related to the word known as data. It is simply related to the word data. Okay. Now, what happened is that if you look to our current scenario, in this current world, you have you all of you use certain devices, electronic devices. It might be a tablet, it might be a mobile phone, it might be a laptop, computer, PC, and so on and so forth, right? Even though through which platform or the device you are watching this, that's also an electronic device, right? Now in that electronic device you have different softwares. Okay, you have different applications, you have different software. For an example, let's say if you are having a mobile phone, everyone must have a software or an application known as WhatsApp. Yes or no? Do you guys have WhatsApp installed in your mobile phone? Yes or no? Or in your tab? Yes or no? Right? Right? Okay. Now, if I ask you, if I go on and check the size of this application on Play Store, right? So it might happens to be come up, let's suppose 70 MB for an example. So do you think if it has been mentioned in your Play Store that the size of WhatsApp is 70 MB, so after installing it in your device, will it only going to take 70 MB only? Do you think? This is the ideal scenario. Is this the way the application will going to work out? No, obviously not, right? If you go on and check your phone, you will going to find out that the WhatsApp has been consuming more than 2 GB of your space, or 1 GB of your space, right? But why exactly it is happening? What exactly is happening? The application is of 70 MB. Then how exactly it is storing? It is occupying a lot of space. So what happened is, as soon as you install WhatsApp, as soon as you install this application creates a folder. This application creates a folder that is known as WhatsApp. And if you go inside that folder, you will going to find out subfolder where you have photos, where you have your videos, where you have your GIFs, where you might have stored some of your animated stickers and so on and so forth. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? Then you have a backup file itself, right? So what happen is that these application creates data. These application creates data. Let me show you. Let's go to google.com. Let's say WhatsApp. Okay, let's click on WhatsApp. Not this WhatsApp. Yeah, Messenger. So now over here you can see this is our WhatsApp Messenger. You can easily come up and install. But the main thing lies over here. Main thing lies over here is uh, see details. Now see over here. These are the data. These are the data that WhatsApp collects. We never know. Whenever we want to install anything, we just simply go to Play Store and we just upload, we just install it. But this is very important to see what all data a particular device is collecting. Right now, see, whenever you install WhatsApp, it asks you some permission, that if you want to use WhatsApp, you have to grant some permission. Now see what all data it collects. First of all, it will going to collect your location data. It will going to collect your location data, where you are at, it, what you are doing, and at particular instant where were you. So all your location data will be sent to WhatsApp. Your personal data, that means your email address, your user ID, your phone number will be shared. Your financial info, because currently WhatsApp have introduced a new feature called as WhatsApp Pay, right, in which you can do the payment through WhatsApp itself, right? Now your contacts itself, it also takes the information about from your contacts. That's also part of data. Then you have the app activity, then you have device and other IDs, and all these logs and so on and so forth, right? So all this data has been taken from your system. Okay, now since this data has been taken from your system, this data has a huge value. This data has a huge value. Let me give you an example. Let's suppose you have purchased a new sim. You have purchased a new sim. Okay, new sim. Okay, on new sim card. Please don't ask for attendance right now. I will be sharing the attendance at the end. Okay, okay. I will be sharing the attendance link at the end. Kindly bear with the logic sometimes. Okay. Now let's coming back to the topic. Let's suppose you have purchased a new SIM card. Okay. Now after some time, let's suppose you haven't given this number to anyone else. After like a week or a month, you will going to realize that you will be getting a lot of messages, and you will be getting a lot of calls from some companies that can you buy a credit card, can you purchase our new products. And you will be realizing that I have just purchased this new SIM card, and I haven't shared any information, I haven't given this phone number to anyone, but still I am getting the call or messages. Does it happen with everyone? Yes or no? Does it happens to you as well? Yes or no? You must have realized that I haven't given this number to any company, but how can this company is sending me messages, sending me calls, so on and so forth, right? Now what happened is, this data is so valuable that your data is getting sold. Your data is getting sold. So this with the help of this process, company makes profit. If you are purchasing a SIM card from Airtel, right? So now Airtel will going to give your personal details to some company they are tie up. That means this is your phone number, this is the age of the particular person, this is the name. Now this company will going to call, that even though they will going to, let's say they will going to call 200 people, it might happen that among this 200 people, two people accepts their offer and purchase their deal. So it is obviously profitable, for this particular company, right? Google, you must have realized that how Google provide their services as free. If you want to serve anything, you can go to Google and you can search at free of cost, right? Even though if you want to watch some videos, if you want to upload some video, you can go with YouTube, and you can without purchasing anything or without paying anything, you can simply access everything, right? They uses the concept of ads, and they uses the concept of taking your data. Okay, this ads and this data is the major source how Google and lot of multi-billion companies such as Facebook, they earns money. For an example, let me give you an example. Now what happen is, Google and all that company will going to take your data. You must have used incognito mode. Have you heard about the incognito mode in your browser? Anyone? Anyone? Right? So if I ask you what exactly is this incognito mode is famous for, now that's a weird question, all right? Now, what is this incognito mode is famous for? Why do people go to incognito mode? Come on, anyone? Now, don't give me a real reason, okay? Give me a very basic reason. Data privacy, exactly, for hiding history, right? Now, see, if you're using incognito mode, you think that your history is not stored. Your history not getting stored. Your data is private, okay? But do you think that Google will gonna allow you to do that? Do you think that Google will gonna allow you to do that? Obviously not. Obviously not, right? Are you getting this one? So what they do is the incognito mode. In the incognito mode, they have designed the incognito mode in such a way to tell the user that we are not storing any data, your history is not getting stored, so on and so forth. And they will, even though if you check your history, you will going to say whatsoever you have served on an incognito mode, it will not going to appear in your history. So you say that okay, it's good, it's perfectly fine, I am safe. However, what does Google do is they store all your data. They store all your data, and to make you to trust them, they doesn't show the data that has been stored in your history. So what you are thinking is that your data is not being stored or stolen, whereas Google is taking all your data even through from incognito mode as well. Are you guys getting this? So this data part, right? So currently data, it's a coined word that data is a new oil. Data is a new oil. So people are, it's a scam. It's totally up to you if you want to say this as a scam or not. But this is the reason why company are giving you free services. So one thing that you need to understand is nothing in this world is free, right? Nothing in this world is absolutely free. So all the services, all the application that you serve, that is your Instagram, your Facebook, and all such of other Snapchat, right? They are free of cost. Anyone can come up and install it. However, in the back end, the companies are taking your data. I'm not going to say that they're stealing your data. Stealing word is absolutely different. Okay, taking your data and stealing your data is absolutely different. If the company, let's say, if you say Google, if you tell Google that hey, don't do that, don't take our data, then what will going to happen is if you remove all this data and ads part, now Google will start going to charge you on every searches that you're going to make on google.com. Google has to come up with some premium plan for the YouTube, right? Then those service will not going to be get free. So this is the backend story about data. Now let's come back to a point of machine learning. What was the point to discuss about machine learning? Why we were discussing about data? Because data plays a very vital role in the field of data science, in the field of machine learning. And even though if I want to explain you, I can say that data science without data is just like vision without the mind stone. Are you guys getting this one? Are you guys getting this one? Data science without data is just like vision without mind stone. Okay, we have seen in Infinity War, if you don't have a mind stone, what will going to happen to vision? It is worthless, right? Similarly, the data is very important. Now, since we are living in 2022, we have different applications, and those different applications are generating humongous data. They are generating humongous data. Now what we have to do is, we have to find the value. We have to find the value so that we can make this data profitable. We can make this data profitable. So in that case, we use all this concept of machine learning, deep learning, AI, so on and so forth. So machine learning says that we are going to create a machine, and we are going to fetch the data to the machine, and based on those data, our machine will going to make decision. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Are you guys getting this? In machine learning, we create a machine and we train our machine on the basis of the training data or a data, so that our machine can perform well and will going to give us a different output. And there is one more difference that you need to make sure. There's a huge difference between the term data and information. Data and information is a huge term. You can say information is the data, but data is not an information. Information is a data, but data is not an information. There's a huge difference between these two. Okay, so you need to know what machine learning is. That in machine learning, we create a machine in such a way that we give the data a machine, oh sorry, we give the machine a data. Based on those data, machine will going to create some logic and will going to give you an appropriate output. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? I think many of the people wants the attendance. I think I should stop. Should I stop here today? Should we stop our class today here itself? Come on, I hope you guys are enjoying the session. Okay, cool. So let's stop our session today itself. Tomorrow we're going to continue with more on machine learning and linear regression. See, machine learning concept is very, very interesting. Machine learning, deep learning, even though they are very advanced topic, but they are very interesting. You know, you must have heard about stock markets. Many of you might invest in a stock market, but the basic thing is, in stock markets, you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, right? If you already know that if the stock is going to go high or low, you can be millionaire. If I would have known that Bitcoin during 2011 or something, that Bitcoin would have, currently Bitcoin have a huge value, I could have invested there. You will not going to believe me, but you can use machine learning to predict the future as well. You must have heard about, let me tell you a secret, okay? You must have heard about different platforms such as Grow, right? Coin DCX. Anyone 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 know about these two platforms, Grow, Coin DCX, and Kubera app, and so on and so forth, right? So what exactly happen is, they say that invest our money, right? And we will going to give you some greater investor who will going to take your money, and they will going to give you a huge profit. Now just understand, how do those investors know where to invest? How do those investors know where to invest? So what happened is, all this company has all this company uses the concept of machine learning and deep learning. They use the data of the particular company. Let's say I have invested in Apple shares, let's say, right? And I want to know whether it's profitable to go with Apple or not. So what this company will going to do, they have trained a machine learning model. They will going to fetch the previous data of Apple share, right? This machine learning model is going to train itself on the basis of Apple share, and now as an output, my machine will going to tell me whether or not the Apple share will going to rise in the upcoming time or will going to get low. And based on this prediction, the investor will going to decide and will going to put the money in the different company. we'll get the return and we're going to get back to you. So that's what these company does. Okay, so machine learning is very, very interesting, guys. But only thing is the fundamental thing that you need to learn about machine learning, AI, and deep learning, that they are based on the term probability. They are based on the term probability. That means if a machine says that tomorrow Apple shares will going to rise, it doesn't mean that it will 100% will gonna rise. It will going to give you a probability value. It will going to say, machine will going to say there are 90% chance that the Apple share will going to rise, but it doesn't guarantee you that it will going to rise. So probability plays a very important and a vital role. So yeah, so for attendance, just bear with me for with 1 minute. So that's all about today's session. Today we have understood about loops. We have also talked about somewhat about Dr. Steen and Dormammu itself. We have seen machine learning. We have seen how the company uses concept of machine learning, how they use the data, and so on and so forth. So now this is the end. Tomorrow we're going to continue from here itself. Okay. Now the day 3 and day 4 link is being combinedly will shared. Okay. So this is an attendance link for both day 3 and day 4. Okay. This attendance link is both for day 3 and day 4. So kindly don't forget to fill this up. So let me share this. So here you go. I have shared the attendance link. Kindly do the attendance, please, because we know that if you don't have the attendance for 7 days, you may not able to get the certificate. Okay, is this clear, everyone? I hope today's session was interesting. We're gonna make this one tomorrow as well. If you have any doubt related to machine learning or today's session, please shoot all those questions to your live chat. Go on. What time one should need to give to be a job ready in ML with double digit package? See, machine learning, deep learning, and data science. If we talk about the current Indian market, right? So currently, what is happening is that getting a job in data science as a fresher is very, very, very difficult. Okay, you have to have a huge knowledge. So generally, people starts their journey with the data analyst. First, they start with data analysis, then they go with your machine learning, and then they move on. So it's totally based on an experience that as soon as you have a great experience, you will be getting a great package itself. Okay. Any more doubts? Any more doubts? Which library we will be used? We will be using sklearn or scikit-learn for ML purpose. Okay. No, machine learning is not about collection of data. See, machine learning is not about collection of data. Machine learning is all about getting the information or useful information from those data. That is what machine learning all about. Okay. Collection of data is different thing that comes under data analysis. Anyone else? Any more question? Can we get internship after this boot camp? See, it's getting an internship is totally dependent upon your skill set, right? If you feel like that you have such skills to get an internship, then definitely nothing is stopping you to do that. Anyone else? Which SQL is used for data science? See, this is a wrong question. SQL is a language. Okay. If you want to ask, you can ask which database is used for data science, right? Which SQL doesn't sounds a good language. Anyone else? Roadmap of data science. So it's a huge roadmap. First, you need to have a programming language. Then you should know about database. Then you have to know about statistics. See, if you don't love programming, you can still do data science. If you don't know about coding, you can still love data science. You can still do data science. But if you hate maths, then I'm sorry, data science is not a cup of your tea, because data science is all about mathematics. Data science is all about mathematics. Okay. My name is Sahil. You can, if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Let me right over here. You guys can connect with me. Let me provide the LinkedIn as well. Okay. Scope of Python and ML is huge. Scope of Python and ML is huge. Okay. Currently, I've already told you that their data that is generating, Google is generating data. Which language do you think that Google is processing all this data and is giving you, it's selling the data and predicting something? It's Python only, right? Google, Facebook, you can say Go IBO, any of the multinational companies such as a FAN as well. Netflix, if you use Netflix use your data to predict what kind of content a user watches. Based on those data, they gives this data to the filmmakers, so that they can, based on those data, they can make such film which will be appealing to people, right? Is this clear? What should we learn, NLP, computer vision, or reinforcement learning? See, NLP, computer vision, is a part of your deep learning. Okay, NLP is based on textual form, RNN. Okay, NLP is RNN, computer vision is CNN. If you heard about Tesla cars, Tesla uses CNN, computer vision, to detect any object in front of them, right? Any other question? Any other question? SAS is a good software for data analysts, yes, but however, since Python is more famous, Python and R is more famous, so generally the most of the company prefer that. Otherwise, if you're comfortable with SAS, you can go ahead with that as well. Can we not use pandas, numpy, and matplotlib? See, pandas, numpy, and matplotlib are the major part of data analysis, right? When the data comes to the machine learning, it has to first go from data analysis stage. Unless and until a data goes from data analysis stage, you cannot go with machine learning, right? To understand machine learning, you should first know Python, you should first know data analysis, and you should first know statistics. Okay. Advice for last year students. So you need to give me the stream first, right? Then only I can help you out. What stream are you from? Anyone else? R language is a programming language. See, just like Python, we have R as well, and R is super for data analysis. R is more faster than Python as well for data analysis. But however, since Python has a huge scope, it doesn't only work with data analysis, it also helps you with machine learning, web development, and all that. We choose Python. However, R is more powerful than Python in terms of data analysis. Anyone else? Data science and machine learning are absolutely different. Machine learning is just a part of data science, right? Data science contains software development, full stack, machine learning, deep learning, AI, and so on and so forth. So data science and machine learning are way more different. Source to become data scientist. Source to become, so it's a huge journey. Being a data scientist is a huge journey. Okay, most probably tomorrow, if we get some time, I'll explain you what are the different no roadmap you can follow in order to become one data scientist, right? Anyone else? Advice for last year computer science engineering students. So I would say that if you are interested in the field of data science, you can start with the journey of your data analysis. Other than that, software engineering is always there for you. You can go with the software engineering, get some experience first. In your IT sector, experience does matter. Okay, so I would recommend you to get some experience and choose the path where you feel that you're more interested in. If you're interested in full stack, or if you're interested in front end, back end, go with that. And furthermore, side by side, you can start with your data science journey as well. Okay, anyone else who have more scope among CSS or other specializations? So see, everyone has a scope in different manner. right? One, we cannot say that CS is more greater than other specialization. No, every specialization is good. They have a different scope, they have a different future. So all the specialization is good. Okay, anyone else? Math is very important. See, math is important. If you don't know coding, you can still go with data analysis, data science program, and all that. If you don't know how to write code, if you don't know about databases, you can still bear with the data science program. But if you don't know mathematics, it is very difficult for you, right? So it has also been considered the best degree to start with data scientist is your in mathematics. If you are from BSc in mathematics, you can go on with the data science program. Okay, so maths is very crucial. If you are MSc mathematics students or bachelor mathematics students, you guys have a huge advantage in data science field. Okay, so try to grab that one. Anyone else? So what should I choose, Java or C++? Based on what? What is the domain? Okay, because Java and C++ are good in different domains. If you want to make some games or website, you can go with Java. If you want to create some, let's say, games, okay, if you want to work with some AR VR, then C++ is good, right? I've already explained you data science and machine learning are different. No, you cannot say that AI depends on machine learning and deep learning. Whereas you have to say deep learning depends on machine learning and machine learning depends on AI. Okay. So do we need to be expert in coding for going with? No, this is the beauty of data science. See, for the data science part, you don't have to be expert in coding, right? Any no, like fifth standard guy or sixth standard guy who have the basic knowledge of coding, they can start with that. But if you're talking about DSA, data structures and algorithm, then you should be having a good grip in the different algorithms part. Okay, no, because all the concept of programming language will be same. Okay, you have inheritance, you have oops concept, it will be same. Okay, anyone else? For the full stack development, you should know about the backend. You should know about the how to design a front end, like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Then, if you are comfortable with that, then you can go with any other library of JavaScript, such as React, Angular, and Vue. After that, you have to know about cloud. You have to know about database. You have to know about deployment, and you have to know about certain messaging and queues softwares. So that's the journey of full stack. Okay. I think that's all for today. We can wrap this up so you guys can enjoy your weekend, right? So let's meet tomorrow. Today's attendance has been shared. Let me share this again with you. So this is today's attendance. Kindly fill this up. And thank you so much for joining in. Let's wrap this up for today. And let's meet tomorrow with the same energy and some new stuff. Okay. Thank you so much for joining in. See you guys. Have a great evening. Enjoy yourself and be safe. Thank you so much. Bye.